Hello and good evening students, and welcome back to Global Online Platform. This is Chandni Swarnakar, and today we are going to cover the basic terms of linguistics and phonology. Okay, so we'll cover this, and you can get my lectures at 9 PM on a daily basis. But वीडियो में आगे बढ़ने से पहले मैं आपको बता देती हूँ, दिसंबर एग्जाम में JRF लेने के लिए स्मार्ट प्रिपरेशन करना होगा. उसके लिए ग्लोबल ऑनलाइन आपके लिए लेकर आया है इंग्लिश लिटरेचर का कंप्लीट कोर्स, जिसमें आपको वीडियो लेक्चर्स मिलेंगे, जिसमें शॉर्ट एंड स्मार्ट के साथ आपके सारे कॉन्सेप्ट क्लियर हो जाएंगे. इसके साथ ही आपको फुल सिलेबस नोट्स PDF फॉर्मेट में अवेल कराया जाएगा. इसके साथ ही आपको मॉक टेस्ट मिलेंगे, जिसे एज इट इज क्वेश्चन एग्जाम में पूछे जाते हैं. मॉक टेस्ट आपके फाइनल प्रिपरेशन में बहुत हेल्प करता है. तो गिवन कॉन्टैक्ट नंबर पर कॉन्टैक्ट करके आप इसे ज्वाइन कर सकते हो. सबसे अच्छी बात इस कोर्स की है दैट यू गोइंग टू गेट कंप्लीट पेपर 1 कोर्स फॉर फ्री, सो यू आर सेविंग 3600 रुपीज है. नाउ फ्री वीडियोस के एक्सेस के लिए ग्लोबल ऑनलाइन आपको आप फटाफट डाउनलोड कर सकते हो. स्टोर सेक्शन पे जाओगे, आपको सारे कोर्सेज की जानकारी यहाँ से मिल जाएगी. सर्च बार में जा करके डायरेक्टली कोर्स का नाम लिखोगे तो कोर्स का ओवरव्यू आपके सामने आ जाएगा. इसकी ड्यूरेशन, इसकी फीस, आपको सब कुछ मिल जाएगी. कंटेंट सेक्शन पे जाते हो तो आपको यूनिट वाइज जो है फोल्डर अवेलेबल मिलेंगे. हर एक यूनिट में थ्योरी लेक्चर्स, इवैल्यूएशन, नोट्स, मॉक टेस्ट एंड MCQs आपको मिलेंगे. इसके साथ आपको कुछ भी पढ़ने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. इसके साथ अगर आप ग्लोबल ऑनलाइन पेड कोर्स को ज्वाइन करते हो तो आपको व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप में भी ऐड कराया जाएगा, जहाँ पे हर एक सेशन की PDF आप लोगों के साथ में प्रोवाइड करवाई जाएगी. ओके, नाउ मूविंग ऑन. Okay, so let's cover the basic terms of linguistics and phonology. Okay, so the first term is phonology. What is phonology? So let's understand phonology first. So what it says, phonology is a subfield of linguistics. It's a subfield of linguistics. Okay, so the part of it's under the umbrella of linguistics that deals with the study of the sounds. What it deals? It deals with the study of sounds when used in human language. What we use, right, including the distribution, how it distributed, what is the pattern and organization in different languages. We are using different languages, right? So there must be some distribution, some patterns and a particular organization, right, in different languages. We study that in phonology. It explores the way sounds are produced, perceived, and how they function to convey meaning in various linguistic contexts. What it explores the sounds are produced, okay, the way sounds are produced, perceived, how you perceive it, and how they function. What is the function of the sound, okay, to convey meaning. Whenever a sound convey meaning, what is the function behind it, or the production, or the how we perceive, that actually explore phonology to convey meaning in various linguistic contexts. Example, pat. Okay, this word start with a P sound, right? So we study that, the actually how it starts, right? So it comes under phonology. The second example is bat. This word starts with a B sound, right? So there is a specific way to pronounce it, and there is specific organization, right, way to pronounce. Now the second one says phoneme. A phoneme is the smallest unit of sound. Do understand, it's the smallest unit of sound in a language that can change the meaning of a word. You will see that whenever we use phoneme, right, it's the smallest unit of sound, and with the help of that it actually can change the meaning of a word. You can change the meaning of a word with the help of phoneme. For example, in English, the phoneme P is one sound, right, that can be found in words like pat, bat and map, right. Now here changing the P sound to B or M in this words would result in different meanings when you exchange it. Like you change the sound, okay, you changed P sound to B and B sound to M, right. So how it turns out, it changed the meaning. It creates different meaning with the help of different sounds. That is basically phoneme. Now phonetics. What is phonetics? So phonetics is a study of speech sounds. Do understand? It's the study of speech sounds and how they are produced, transmitted and perceived. So do understand the difference between these terms, and do understand what it actually means, right? Example, the sound P in pat is produced by closing the lips and releasing them to create a puff of air. Okay, so how you actually pronounce it, that phonetics teaches you. Okay, so when we say pat, so is produced by closing the lips. We close the lips and release them to create a puff of air so that we can pronounce pat, right? And there are three main categories in phonetics. Let me tell you. First, consonants, and I hope you all know that. Vowels and suprasegmental features. Suprasegmental features basically stresses into the pitch, loudness, how you pronounce the pitch, how is your pitch, and the loudness, the tone, right? So it comes under this supra-segmental features. Now vowel, I hope you all know that. Consonants, you know. Now example, the S sound in C. Okay, so you pronounce C. So where the S is the word, now the word basically letter, right? So S is a consonant one, while the EE sound is a vowel, right? So I hope things are clear. Now let's cover morphology. What is morphology? So see, morphology is the study of the structure and formation of words in a language. Okay, so earlier we have studied the sound structure. Now we are focusing on morphology, where we study the structure, study of the structure and formation of words in a language. We study words here. Now it involves analyzing smallest units of meaning within a language. So it stands for the smallest units of meaning within a language, known as morphemes. Okay, so it's a part of morphology. Now morphemes basically can be classified as either free morphemes. There are two types of morphemes. Under that there will be two or more of them. Okay, so first, free morphemes. What is free morphemes? So free morphemes basically stands alone, can stand alone, can create a meaning all alone, right? For example, cat. We don't need any other word to form a meaning. Okay, cat can itself create a meaning. Cat means Billy, and so that is why it's a free morpheme that do not need any other word, any other thing to form a meaning. It's very self-efficient. Okay, so for example, we actually talk about the self-efficiency of a people, and we always say that be very independent. Okay, don't depend on anybody. So you can do your own thing on your own stuff, right? So that is free morphemes. You can understand that with the help of this live quote. Now, then the second one is bound morpheme. What is bound morphemes? So basically, bound morphemes is a bound morpheme that must attach to a free morpheme. So there will be a free morpheme. For example, do will be a free morpheme. We attach something to that and create the word meaning to reverse an action. Right, to change its meaning, we change it. So with do, we add un. Okay, so undo. So what it means? Undo means to reverse an action. We have done it and we want to reverse it. For example, as if we have never done it, right? So un basically is a bound morpheme that must attach to a free morpheme. And always understand that un is a bound morpheme where we attach that with free morpheme to create something, some other meaning, okay, to change its meaning. Now the third one is inflectional morphemes. What it means? For example, you don't create another meaning. Okay, with inflection morphemes, you have to understand we don't change the meaning. We actually change the form. We change the singular word to plural one. Okay, we change the grammatical. We change according to the grammatical rules. Okay, so if we need cats, we use we add s to that, and that will form the plural form of the word. Okay, so inflection morphemes, for example, in English, the s at the end of cats or pats or bats indicates the plural form of the word. You change it. Okay, the fourth one is derivational morphemes. Derivational morphemes basically we use happiness, for example, combines happy with ness to create another meaning. Okay, to create a new word with a different meaning. Okay, so for example, derivational comes under the different meaning. Now when we form a new meaning, new word with a different meaning, happiness combines happy plus ness to create a new meaning, that is called derivational morphemes. I hope you all understand. Don't get confused. If you will find any confusion, you can always ask me in the comment section. Okay, so the fifth one, neologism. So we have heard like words frenemy and another word, new ones, right? So a neologism is not a commonly recognized term. We don't actually recognize it, but we keep on making that. And nowadays, so many words are coming, and sometimes we get confused. Okay, okay, ये कब आया, ये word कब आया, that way we sometimes behave or notice things. A neologism is not a commonly recognized term, but if you are referring to newly coined words or neologisms, okay, so it actually refers a newly coined word. For example, frenemy. Frenemy is a new word, is a neologism that combines friend and enemy to describe a person who pretends to be a friend but actually harbors hostile feelings. Because see, बोलते हैं ना, it says वो आप दोस्त की तरह बिहेव तो करता है लेकिन है आपका दुश्मन. So frenemy is a new word. Okay, so that comes under neologism. Then register. What is register? Don't think about this one. Register, okay, where you just note down things. So in linguistics, register refers to the variety of language that is appropriate for a particular social or communicative context. Okay, so in linguistics, register refers to the variety of language that is appropriate for a particular social and communicative context. It actually, you use a particular sentence, okay, so in some situation you use that in a very informal way, but the same sentence you want to use somewhere in a formal scenario, so you will change it, you will change according to that. That is called register. For example, register can vary in terms of formality, vocabulary. Now let's cover the other examples of register. Now for example, consider the different register used in the English language. Okay, so for example, casual register ho gaya, then formal register. So when we use a sentence while we talk to our friends or family, we use if we want to hang out with them, we'll say, hey, what's up, wanna hang out later? But in that same sentence, in a formal register, we would say, I would like to schedule a meeting with you to discuss the project. We will not use the same sentence in both situations, right? So that is a register. We use different sentences. We use different sentences in different situations with the same meaning. Okay, so now let's cover the dialect. Okay, so basically we know that we all have different languages, but in different languages also there are so many dialects, the way they speak. In geographical condition, there are people who are speaking English in a different way, and on the other hand there are people who are speaking in a different way, right? Vocab different, differences you can find, pronunciation differences you can find, grammatical rules you can find. Okay, so in linguistics, a dialect is a variety of a language that is spoken by a particular group of people in a specific geographical area or social context, right? What I have just told you. Now dialects can vary in terms of pronunciation, vocabulary and grammar. For example, let's talk about American English, right? So in American English, you will find numerous dialects such as Southern dialect, New York City dialect, Boston dialect. But for example, when we talk about Southern dialect, you'll find they use why all in this form. Okay, it's a common second person plural pronoun, while in other dialects you guys or you all might be used. Okay, so this is an example of what? Dialect, right? Now moving on to collocation. So let's understand what is collocation. So have you ever used strong coffee? There are two different words, like, but more frequently we use it. The combination of a particular words that we use more frequently than would be expected by chance, that is actually collocations. So particularly collocation in linguistics refer to the habitual juxtaposition of particular words or phrases in a language. These word combinations often occur together more frequently than would be expected by chance. For example, strong coffee, I have just told you, in English strong and coffee. Frequently collocate because it's common to describe the intensity or flavor of coffee in this way. We don't find it odd to add them, right, as a phrase. We don't feel odd because it feels like, okay, we want to convey the meaning, we want a strong coffee, we want the intensity or flavor of coffee in this way, so we use a strong coffee, right? Other examples include fast food, bitter cold, or make a decision, right? Now moving on. Homonyms, sorry. Homonyms are words that have the same spelling, okay? So they have the same spelling, but the pronunciation, but different meanings, right? There are two main types of homonyms, for example, homophones and homographs, okay? So homophones, how do you identify homophones? So homophones basically These are words that sound the same but have different meanings and often different spellings. For example, these are words that sound the same but have different meanings and often different spellings. For example, bear, right? Without covering. Bear is a different word but the same sound. Bear is an animal. Okay, so that comes under homophones. For example, flower, a plant or flower used in baking. We use in baking. Now, homographs, basically, these are words that are spelled the same but have different meanings. It's spelled the same but have different meanings and may be pronounced differently. For example, it's pronounced differently, and here actually different spellings sound the same, different meanings. For example, lead to guide, and lead a heavy metal. Tear to rip or tear a drop of liquid from the eye, right? Now here we have done today's lecture. We'll meet in the next lecture. Thank you so much for your time, and keep on revising things, and all the very best.